There seems to be a two extreme of people or investors. On one extreme, there's those that believe in fantasies, that believe that they can invest in worthless crypto and become millionaires. And then there's this other group that thinks that if something is too good to be true, it's it's too good to be true, right? So in other words, they think that you cannot get 10x, 20x, 50x your money. It's not possible, and you shouldn't even try, right? And probably a lot of them haven't been involved in such successes, like, for example, Oracle going from 4 cents to almost $4. And those things are possible. And so in this video, I'm going to show you a company that at some point it will be on this YouTube channel when it becomes public, because right now it's a private company, and I'm not going to mention the name of it, but even if you knew, it doesn't matter because you can't invest in it because it's private. And at MCE, we invested in it. And in this video, I'm going to play you some clips from the CEO that we just had a call with yesterday. But just in general, this idea is about four things. So I'm going to talk about a lawsuit, Argentina, IPO, and value or the solution. Because you see, something interesting happened. We invested in it as a private company on MCE, and I didn't think there was going to be another opportunity to invest in this company. And something happened, like a special situation. You see, there was a former CEO that did some, I can't say too much, but did some shady things, okay? And that CEO got fired. And the company sued the CEO for his shares. So, and just last week, they reached a settlement. So there was 47 million shares of this company, and that CEO had 17 million. So the settlement was that they said that those shares are going to be canceled. So in other words, the number of shares will go from 47 million to 30 million shares, which is like huge, like 30% accretive, because those, what's 17 million shares? 17 million divided by 47, that's like 36% of the shares are going to be canceled. However, in order to settle that lawsuit, this company is going to pay that former CEO $500,000 to settle it, because time is of the essence here, and they decided in order to get rid of him, they're going to pay him $500,000. And now, because of that settlement, we are investing in this company again. If it wasn't for that settlement, we wouldn't be investing in it. We invested in it, but now they need $500,000 in order to cancel 17 million shares, right? And we are investing in it at $1. Okay, so in other words, if let's say they raise $1 million, right, just to be on the safe side and raise a little bit more than 500,000. So they're going to print 1 million shares in order to get 17 million shares canceled. That's accretive, right? So that's on the lawsuit, just to give you an idea. Now, but just because you cancel shares doesn't mean this company is worth anything. So this company has a major solution to a huge problem. Okay, and you know how I like to get involved in situations where I get involved in a solution where someone else works at it, and I know there's a problem, and they are literally waiting for a letter from Argentina to unlock that value. Okay, the moment they get the letter, this company is worth like $1 billion. Okay, so and you don't have to believe me, but just stick with me for a second. So $1 billion divided by 30 million shares, that's like value of $30 per share, right? Now, so just keep that number in mind. Now, they are going IPO very soon at $5, okay? And that's when I'm going to actually bring it on this YouTube channel when they go public, right? So I'm gonna use some clips from the call that we had, and now you have the background information, and I'm going just to react to it, okay? And I'm going to at the end show you, if you are interested, how you could be part of this, and if you're not interested, then when it becomes public, at 5 times the price that we're investing in, then that's going to be your price. But anyway, let's have a listen.
We are in the midst of filing a Reg A. I will tell you that the valuation prior to having this letter is we're going for $5 a share. So
the letter that he's talking about is the letter from Argentina.
I think this is a great opportunity, obviously, to pick up some additional shares and a great warrant on something that, this first quarter of 2023 should become extremely valuable.
So what he's talking about is, he mentioned a warrant, right? So we are investing at $1, and we are getting a full warrant at $1 too, which is, I've never had that before, okay? Just because, like, it's a horrible market. They want to incentivize people to do that. And I even have a conversation with him, and I was like, you don't really have to offer people full warrant. Like, they're going to be interested in it even if you didn't offer them a warrant. And he was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll reduce it. And then I was thinking about it for a second, and I'm like, you know what? The market is so horrible. Give it to people. Like, let them have the full warrant. Just give it to them. And he was like, okay, we'll leave it at that. And one other thing is, when he was talking about recently it's going to become very valuable because they expect to get this letter from Argentina within like 3 to 4 weeks. From my point of view, or from the investor's point of view, I always look for, the margin of safety if there is. So I asked you this before, and you kind of addressed it already. What happens when we don't get the approval?
There's very little chance that it's not going to be approved. I don't know that there is even a chance that it's not going to be approved. The only thing we don't know is what new conditions might be asked for, what else they may require. We've been told that they're working on the conditions, not whether or not it's approved.
We're obviously... So this is again about the letter from Argentina. So in other words, like, this is such a big deal. This letter, it just makes this investment worth so much money. And as you can hear, and you don't, you can believe it or you don't have to believe it. I'm not saying one way or another, that it's not even about approval. They already have the approval. It's conditions to that approval. In the new year right now, but we talked before, and you guys were hoping to get this before the end of the year, and now we're in the new year. Would you say that it's Lionel's Messi fault why we don't have it yet?
It might be Messi's fault.
Yes.
So as you know, and that's why it's so interesting, because I didn't know we would have this opportunity to invest in it, because I didn't know that the lawsuit was going to be settled, and so they were already supposed to get the letter from Argentina, but as you know, Argentina won the World Cup, and like, people literally stopped working in Argentina. Like, offices were closed completely until like last week. So that's what we're talking about here.
It's hard. It's hard when you understand how the U.S. works, how North America works, and for the most part, how Europe works, right? But I've done business I've had business in Chile, I've had business in China, I've had businesses in Asia and Korea, and the rest of the world works a little differently. And I will say that the World Cup absolutely slowed things down, the end of November into December, and then the holidays. One of the other questions was how many shares are expected at the IPO? What we're looking to do at this point is, in our filing, is going to be for 2 million shares at $5. So we're looking.
Okay, so I asked you to remember before the value of about $30 per share, right? And now he's talking about IPO at $5 per share. Okay, so again, I'm going to use these numbers later to do the calculation. Let's continue.
Looking to raise $10 million initially, and that would be the extent of that first initial IPO.
Do you already have investment bank lined up to do the raise?
We have 3 suitors at this point.
And now, what do they tell you? Did they tell you the price $5, or did you come up with this?
$5 is half of the price they told us.
Okay, so the way I'm reading it, they probably think that you raise it at $5, and they probably think that the stock would go up once it becomes public. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Right, so that's another number I want you to remember is $10, right? $10 a share, what the investment bankers think they should IPO at. So remember 5, 10, and 30.
Yeah.
In other words, hold on to your shares.
Yeah, oh yeah. Don't give them away. Don't make Christmas presents of your certificates, though. Unless it's your kids, and then probably want to do it before it gets too valuable so they don't have a tax event.
I remember one time we had a talk about this solution, and it was kind of how you were saying that you're at the end of your career and this is more than just money. And it was kind of touching. So I was wondering if you can say it again.
So pay attention now to his answer, how he's going to get emotional and like teary eyes. That's how much passion he has for this.
I think it's not just true of myself, but it's true of Jonathan too. Obviously, he's quite a bit younger and handsomer. But the fact is that I've done significant number of projects. I've been involved in significantly more IPOs than I have hair probably left. The fact is that this technology is going to make a significant difference. It's going to save millions of lives. And I've never had that opportunity before where I could say I was part of a project, supported a project, helped guide a project that saved millions of lives every year and changed so many lives for the better. This project has that ability. And I think from my point of view, certainly at this time in my life, that's significantly more important than anything else. The truth is that I have significant number of legacy projects that I obviously still have obligations to, that I work on, but I will tell you that the majority of my focus every day is on and making sure that this project goes forward and is completed. Yeah, we don't often get to do that, and to be even a shareholder in this company and say, I helped finance this solution. I helped hopefully saving 6 million lives a year worldwide once this is fully implemented. When do you get to do that? So, yeah, obviously I don't share that often, but it is obviously important to me. Absolutely, 100%.
So one time I asked him this question because I had a phone call with him, and he told me this story, how, yeah, you're going to make a lot of money on this, but I'm at the end of my career, and this is more. To me, it means more than money. And the way he was talking, like, I had tears in my eyes when I still like get emotional about it when I think about it. And he got a little emotional here, but I think myself, I got more emotional when he told me this story the first time. It's a big deal.
A few questions about the timing of the IPO. Timing of the IPO right now, my best guess is going to be this summer. So it might be sooner, but I think it's going to be this summer. And the shareholders, again, I thank you for weathering the lawsuit with us, and thank you for, basically the support you've given us so far, and this continued support. So we're going to make you proud. You're going to be excited to be part of this project on so many levels.
Okay, so this is the call that we had, and it was like an hour call. So like, opportunities like this exist out there. So now I'm going to walk you through the numbers. I asked you to remember 3 numbers: 5, 10, and 30, right? So 5 is what they're saying we're going to go public in the summer, right? The investment bankers told them that it should be 10. So I'm reading between the lines that the investment bankers want to take their clients, they want to get them in at $5, and then the stock is going to run probably to 10, okay? Because it is hugely valuable, this company, once they get that letter, which they expect in 3 weeks, right? So let's run some numbers based on 5 and 10. So let's say you invest $10,000 today at $1, okay? That gets you 10,000 shares. And you get 10,000 warrants at $1, which I'll give you the right to purchase additional 10,000 shares at $1 for the next 2 years, okay? After the company goes public, okay? After. That's when that clock starts. So now, if let's say they IPO at 5, right? And the stock doesn't go to 10. So now your 10,000 shares is now worth 50,000. And now your warrants, your 10,000 warrants are now worth 40,000, right? So now you took $10,000 and you turned it into $90,000 at the IPO, right? Now, that's a pretty good return, right? What happens when the stock runs to $10? Like the investment bankers think that it's easily going to go to $10, okay? So now your 10,000 shares is worth 100,000, right? And your 10,000 warrants are now worth 90,000. So now you took $10,000 and you turned it into 190,000, right? I'm not even talking about the $30 that I think this thing is worth, right? If we do that calculation, $30 times 10,000 shares, that's 300,000. Now, what about the warrants? Well, 10,000 warrants are now worth 290, right? 290 plus 300,000, $590,000 from $10,000, right? And now, probably most people wouldn't have the balls to hold their shares for so long, like from $1 to 30. But it's just for the purpose of calculation, that the investment that I'm looking at right now can have those kinds of returns. Now, what if you wait and you're like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to invest in private companies, la 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 la. I'm just going to wait till they go IPO. Okay. So if they go IPO, and I will talk about this company when they go IPO, you invest at $5, let's say $10,000, and it goes to 10. You double your money. So it goes from 10 to 20. If you invest at $1 and get a full warrant at $1, that 10,000 goes to 190,000. So 10 to 20 versus 10 to 190, right? That's the difference. Those kinds of opportunities are out there, and I just wanted to show it to you. Now, of course, if you want to invest in this kind of company at $1, you got to be a member of MCE, because I'm only allowing this to be on MCE. And even if I talked about it here on YouTube, we couldn't do it. I couldn't offer it to people. You have to be part of the group. It's a private placement. This is the value that I provide to my members. I bring them these kinds of ideas. So anyway, I will talk about this investment on YouTube when it becomes IPO. But if you would like to invest in it today as a private company at $1 and get a full warrant at $1, you know what to do. The link to MCE sign up is in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I think miracles are possible. Are there any risks? Of course there's risks. But does it mean you shouldn't take the shot because you're afraid of missing? I think you know the answer to this.